Hi, this is Linda Sherman, at Linda Sherman on Twitter, and I'm here with Ian Lurie, at PortentInt on Twitter. Thank you so much for being with us today, Ian.
Thanks. It's great to be here.
We had a great discussion just now in Search and Social Woot here in Kauai, and we were talking about our teenagers online and how we can interact with them and protect them and so forth. And you had some very interesting things to say, and I just wanted you to share that with our people here.
Okay. Quick plug here. I'm actually working on a book that I just published about this called The Unfun Parent. And really the premise, what I've learned, and my kids are still young, they're 8 and 10, but what I've really learned over the years is your kids will always find a way to make you look dumb. And I mean that in the nicest way possible because they're smart and creative and will just find ways around things. Don't trust software, don't trust monitoring tools, don't trust anything like that. What you want to do for things like Facebook, for example, is make a deal with your kids. Just like you want to know who your kids' friends are and you want to meet them at some point, you want them to let you follow them on Facebook. And then you make a deal in return that you will not post random embarrassing things to their walls or anything like that. And that way you are in touch with exactly what it is that they're doing online, which is very, very important. And at the same time, you're building trust and you're building habits. And that's something that I don't think has changed between the online world and the offline world. It's actually not that much different from making sure that your kids learn how to behave properly when they're out of the house as teenagers. It's the same kind of, you want to get those habits instilled as early as possible.
One of the interesting things that got said at the conference is that kids are leaving Facebook because their parents are monitoring them, and they're forming social networks around the games that they play on, and so they can do whatever they want there. What do you do about that?
Well, I think part of that is, again, the deals you make with your kids. Kids are leaving Facebook in part, and I'm not blaming the parents for this at all. Facebook is fun and it's hard to resist, but I think they're probably leaving because their parents are embarrassing them on Facebook. Just like if I were to continuously chaperone my kids on their dates, they would probably find ways to go on dates without me. Speaking as someone who has a daughter, you know, as opposed to me just standing on the front porch with a sign that says, "I have a dirt floor basement and you won't be missed." That's perfectly okay. You know, it's a few minutes of embarrassment and then they can go on their date. I think really you want to try and make the kids feel like it's perfectly okay for them to be on Facebook. You're not going to bug them about it, even if they occasionally make the inappropriate remark. I mean, they're teenagers, they're going to do that. You want to make them feel as comfortable as possible. Now, if your kids do leave Facebook and they go somewhere else, you know, you're their parent. You need to go and insist, look, I have to know where you're going. Just like if you want to go out on Friday night, I have to know where you're going and when you expect to be back. That's just the way it works. There's no easy answer to this. There are some tricks you can use, like using Google Alerts to look for, you know, mentions of your child's full name, mentions of their friends, you know, things like that, so that if they're on a social network somewhere around a particular game or something and they're being bullied, for example, you can sit them down and say, hey, you know, is there anything going on? Or if they're involved in bullying someone else, you can say, you know, look, okay, I admit I am still monitoring you and I always will be because I'm your parent, and that was not okay. You know, that's kind of what I encourage people to do.
Ian, could you just tell us about your company and your main website?
Sure. My company is Portent Interactive. We're a full-service internet marketing agency in Seattle, Washington. I started it in 1995. I have to just put that out there. I also write, the company's website is at Portent, Portent.com, and I also write a blog, conversationmarketing.com.
Great. Thank you very much, Ian.